Ahoy there! This is Derek, the convicted cinephile. Yes, welcome the few of you that made it. Hopefully, some more people show up. Probably will. I'm doing it an hour earlier than usual, so that might be part of the confusion. But we're just gonna jump right into it. Tonight we are doing superhero movie tournament. So there's 32 superhero movies voted mostly on by Instagram followers of mine and all of ours. Let's be honest. And a few random I pull out of a hat essentially, and then a few obvious ones that you can't live without. So I'm just going to jump right into my guests, three of which are first timers here, so that's cool. But we'll do the old guy first. We'll add the Collectors Club brother here.
Yes, the old guy apparently.
Yeah, the one who's been here before. So yeah, you see us together enough. I don't need to introduce Mike.
Yep, you know me.
And then finally, after years, decades even of being on his channel for streams, I finally brought Ryan from Movies with Ryan. Oh wait, Wolverine. That's right.
Yes. Representing the Wolverine tonight. Doing good. Thank you for having me. Yes, we've only been on like everybody else's streams together. Now we get to be on yours.
Right. Now we're even. I don't owe you anything anymore. We have once again another first timer, like I said. I've been on his channel, now he's on mine finally. The amazing.
What's up, everybody? I was not ready for the Thanos look right there. I was
the what if the Thanos.
Awesome.
Yeah, I figured I'd make a different intro than usual because I'm like, yeah, memes are funny. All right, but yeah, Bill, thank you for being here. I'm trying to rush a little bit. These take a long time, but everyone has their own personal option. Also, I didn't mention that. So there's one movie from each one of these folks here that are like an option tonight, and we'll make fun of them when it gets eliminated. That's the plan. But last but not least, we have the Scarlet Bitch herself, Tracy from the Film Girl. Thank you for being here. You wanted to be on the Blockbuster one, but KB swooped in and took your spot at the last second. So I'm glad I let you in.
Hey, I just love these games that you guys do. Like, they're so fun. I love trivia and all that stuff. So you and Huck doing stuff like this is just like I love to. It's a dream to be here. Quite.
Well, no one's ever said that about me before, but thank you. But I'll quick go through the comments just to say who's here. Got Mr. Caveman, Movies and More. They don't like you. Sorry, I'm reading quietly. Villain Will Smith. Thanks for being here. Holland always here. He was here second though, so he loses this time. Jared Runner, thanks for being here. He's a superior guy as far as I know. Makes sense. Tony loves his as well. I'm here. I'm not going to click on that comment. People saying hi to everybody, and yeah, let's get into this. Everyone got their writing utensils. Nice one, candy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up the first round of movies. You write down which one is your preferred film, and whatever gets the 3 out of 5 or more margin votes moves on, and then we'll go around quick and see why we chose what we chose. Sometimes it'll be obvious, sometimes not so much, but we'll get into that. So let me bring this up. So there is round number 1. Wonder Woman. You can't see it. And Morbius. Which one is the better superhero film? Both of these were actually wild card draws out of the 5 wild cards I did. The fact that they were together right off the bat. All right. Remove this. Pop us all back full screen. All right, everyone ready? 3, 2, 1. Is it Wonder Woman? Are we all in Wonder Woman today?
Oh no.
And Glenn.
There we go.
Nice. Wonder Woman. That was easy. All right. I'm going to click that. I clicked the right one just to make sure I didn't screw up again right away. Mike, why did you pick Wonder Woman over everyone's favorite movie, Morbius?
I know, right? Well, I like Morbius more than most. I will say Morbius is a fun time. It's kind of a throwback to 90s movies.
Yeah, for sure.
That being said, of course, Wonder Woman was the clear choice. It's one of the best DCEU movies out there. Gal Gadot was perfect casting, and it just combines a historical movie, but with a fish out of water story. Chris Pine's great in the movie. So it's just super entertaining overall. It does lose its way in the third act, kind of like Morbius too. So they have that similarity comparison, but the first 2/3 are way stronger than the first 2/3 of Morbius. So gotta go with Wonder Woman.
I agree there. Ryan, how about you?
So I do actually kind of enjoy Moebius as well, but Wonder Woman is one of the few DC movies I've seen, and I really did enjoy it. I do believe Gal Gadot was a great casting, and I had high hopes for the DC universe moving forward after watching Wonder Woman, and we kind of see what's happened since then.
Yeah. Or no one saw what happened, and that's the bigger problem. Tell, how about you?
Because Morbius sucks.
All right.
It's Morbid time.
Tell us how you really feel.
Look, you said Wonder Woman lost his way in the third act. Well, I'm freezing over here, but Morbius lost his way in the first act, the second act, and never found it in the third act. It's horrible.
I know those post-credit scenes with Michael Keaton weren't shoehorned in at all.
Not at all. It was, obviously all along that was part of the plan.
Yeah. Tracy, how about you?
I think Wonder Woman, looking what they did with the second one, the first one was astronomically better, and it was a good origin story to reintroduce that character back. And I didn't actually see Morbius just because I heard horrific things. I'll probably hate watch it at some point, but Wonder Woman was not bad.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Well, I'm friends with the world's biggest Morbius fan, so I think it's great. But it's not as good as Wonder Woman, and which is essentially the problem with every superhero movie. A lot of times, is the third act sucks, or it just becomes a mess of CGI crap. Like Wonder Woman, I thought the first third of it was kind of cheesy. The middle hour of it, I thought was great. The World War I stuff with Chris Pine, and then the ending was but that still makes it, probably top 3 DCEU movies for me, which is not the highest bar in the world, but Morbius is basically lying on the ground there as far as high bars go. So that didn't surprise me. I'm kind of glad we got that one out of the way. Like I said, this is totally random whatever happens. So this is a more difficult round. I think. We have the original Batman film and the first DCU movie ever with Iron Man.
Pulling at my childhood heartstrings here, Derek.
Quickly, right?
Yeah. This one's harder for me than it should be, or not. Let's look. All right. Y'all good?
Good.
All right. 3. I mean, the names are short, so that makes it easy. 3, 2, 1. I got a Batman. I got what looks like a Batman from Ryan. What do you got there?
Iron Man. Sorry, I'm gonna make mine more legible, I promise.
No, it's fine. It's just, what do you got, Mike? Batman?
Yeah, I got Batman.
Yeah. The color of your marker is up
right now.
That's why I just started drawing symbols half the time last time. I'm like, easier to see that.
Work better.
So Batman takes it. But Iron Man's amazing. I love Iron Man, actually. Being a lifelong Marvel geek, seeing an Iron Man movie for the first time was amazing. But it was the nostalgia factor that made me go Batman over Iron Man. And that's not even my favorite Batman movie. So that means something. How about you, Mike?
Oh, yeah, this was a tough choice here. I was almost leaning towards Iron Man at first, but then Jack Nicholson's Joker, that pushed it over the top for me. I mean, it just has a better villain, whereas Iron Man, you got, the Ironmonger in there? I think that's his name. Wasn't a great villain, but yeah. So the villain edged it out for me.
But yeah, he's definitely not as good as Jack Nicholson Joker, as much as I love Jeff Bridges. Ryan, how about you?
It was hard because Iron Man kicks off the MCU. It's a solid story. You do have the worst of the 2 roadie roads in Terrence Howard. But Batman '89. I watched it in the movie theaters. He is my Batman. That is my childhood Batman. So I have to go with Batman '89. Simple as that. Right. The movie could be crap, and I still love it. But Jack Nicholson's great. Keaton's great. The whole movie is just a solid movie.
Yeah. And it's very unique visually. With the exception of obviously Batman Returns, but how about you, Del? I think I know. You obviously said Batman, but why?
Yeah, it actually was pretty close. Like Ryan said, and we all know, Iron Man kicked off the MCU, and I really like Marvel more than DC, even growing up reading comics. But Batman's always been my favorite. And like Ryan, I went to see it in the theater back in the day. The hype, the build-up was tremendous, and then the movie actually paid off. It was a good movie, and yeah, villain versus villain, because a lot of superhero movies live and die by their villain, and Jack Nicholson greater than Jeff Bridges in this case.
Plus, it had better Happy Meal toys.
Everything in the 80s had better Happy Meal toys. They suck now. You, Tracy, the Iron Man girl. Why did you vote for Iron Man?
I know. I think my boyfriend's going to break up with me from this answer, but because he loves me. I think it really comes down to a nostalgia thing. I grew up. I'm at the right age to feel nostalgic about Michael Keaton's original Batman movie. I just don't think that I watched it. I watched it a little bit later, maybe when I was a little bit older, but not that much older. I don't know. I think I just, at the end of the day, really appreciate what Jon Favreau and Robert Downey Jr. did, kind of like winging it and like just trying to make something, and maybe it'll stick and maybe it won't. And I think that really got me really way more into superhero films at the right age, because I was like I was in college, I guess, and it was like, oh, Iron Man's out, and I don't know, it was really a big deal to me, I think.
Nice, yeah. I love Iron Man though. Yeah, it was amazing the first time I saw that. I couldn't wait to see that. Yeah, lifelong Marvel geek. But see, we pick DC sometimes. You saw a couple of us did. All right, this is a similar one to the last one. Well, sort of, because it has Batman on it. The Dark Knight and the Punisher. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah.
And this isn't the Dolph Lundgren Punisher, right? This is the Thomas Jane.
2004 Thomas Jane Punisher. Yes,
the lesser Punisher.
I like that one, but
I like them all. Even Warzone. Warzone's fun. Oh
yeah,
man,
I need to rewatch it now. Alrighty then. We're gonna see a bunch of skulls or a bunch of bats when I count them. Right. 3, 2, 1. Flip. Ooh, even Mike went for Dark Knight. Dark Knight, sweet. Your favorite movie ever, Mike. Why'd you pick it over the Punisher?
Well, it's the Dark Knight. If the Punisher was up against any other movie, I would have gone the Punisher, because that was my choice, of course. But the Dark Knight's my second favorite movie of all time. So, yeah. Obviously, for me, the Dark Knight's just a better around movie. It's great crime drama, great characters all around. There's really not a single flaw in the movie. And then you got the best Joker of all time, which is my favorite villain. So Heath Ledger Joker, you can't really beat that.
True that. Even Jack Nicholson? Come on. Which
Yeah.
one do you like better? We'll find out at the end of the night, because there's more Jokers to come. Ryan.
So I do. Punisher is fun, but since Bernthal has came along and done it, like he is like the epitome of Punisher, I believe. So it kind of lessens that movie. But yeah, Dark Knight. My only complaint with the Dark Knight is if Heath Ledger was not involved with it, that movie would be completely flat. Or if they had somebody else, like Heath Ledger makes that movie, and I feel like it's kind of put up on a pedestal, but it's still just comprehensively, big words. I'm trying to talk big here. It's a better movie.
Sure. I agree exactly with what you just said about Heath Ledger and everything. Yeah. I prefer Batman Begins. I'm that guy. So to take Heath
I like
Ledger
the
out, I
last
don't
one.
like the movie.
I like Bane.
I like Bane, but I hate everything else about the movie. Won't you tell?
We'll get into. Maybe I'm sure we'll get into that at some point. But yeah, the Dark Knight is. If I'm picking one to win, or that I would want to win, this would probably be the one for me for superhero movies. Yeah. Punisher was okay. Not even my favorite Punisher movie, but it was okay. And so for me, not really a comparison.
Right.
Dale's a Dolph fan too. He loves the Dolph Lundgren.
That one's okay too. I actually like Warzone better, but Dolph is not bad.
The Punisher movies, they're okay.
Yeah.
Easy. How about you?
Well, I think there were 3 films on the list that I hadn't seen out of the entire list, and I have not seen The Punisher, even though it's been on my to-watch list for a very long time. But hearing what everyone said, I think then it makes sense that I went with The Dark Knight. I do think that The Dark Knight without Heath Ledger and Aaron Eckhart as Two-Face and the Joker. Would it have been the most epic movie ever made? I don't know, but I know that opening scene with the Joker in the bank is one of the best openings to a movie, and I got to go with that.
Isn't that every superhero movie though? Just about, if it's not the villain, if the performance of the villain makes the movie a lot of times.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
So I don't hold it too bad for that.
More often than not, it does. Well, yeah, I figured that would be an easy one when I saw that pop up. This one might be a little harder because they're comparable franchises this time. Avengers: Infinity War and Thor: Ragnarok. Which are sequential, if I'm not mistaken, right? Wasn't Thor: Ragnarok was the one right before Infinity War, wasn't it?
I believe so. I think.
Because the thing at the end of the credits was Thanos sneaking up on him, I think.
Two very fun movies.
Yes,
fun
I
movies.
love both of these
Very
movies.
fun.
Kind of mad they got paired up together. But, you know, close that up and do it on purpose, right? Everyone ready? 3, 2, 1, flip up. With Avengers, Infinity War. What do you got, Ryan? Sorry to read your little.
Get them stones, purple boy. Infinity War.
Infinity War and Infinity War. Not surprising. But yeah, Thor Ragnarok's amazing. I didn't really like it that much the first time I saw it in theaters. Like, I thought it was fine, but that it was like I didn't mind the second Thor, even though it was kind of dark and boring. Now I think so. But then when this one came out, I'm like, this one's so goofy. I don't know if I like it, except for I love Hulk, so that helped a lot.
I agree with you. I think you have to have those other characters to make a Thor film with just Thor. Like, I mean, it's very difficult to just have him by himself. It's, you know, the first one that works, but after an origin story, it's difficult, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And then, they blew it with the fourth one, I'll say that. But yeah, Ragnarok, it just got better and better every time I'd watch it. Now it's like one of my top 5 MCU movies, which I think I'm not lying about myself. I did a ranking of all of them, and I'm pretty sure it was in the top tier of them. But yeah, Infinity War is arguably the best Avengers movie. I mean, most people would say so. I like Endgame just as much, just because I like the catharsis of it all. But yeah, they're both great. Mike, how about you?
Oh yeah, both amazing movies. Infinity War is my second favorite MCU movie, I think. And I think Ragnarok's probably top 5 for me. So both were pretty close, but it's Infinity War. It's a long movie that doesn't feel long at all. The pacing is perfect. It's like a giant roller coaster ride from start to finish. Tons of action-packed scenes, and it's tough to do that with so many characters, but they give every character a shiny moment in the movie. And so that's why I love Infinity War. But Ragnarok is very good. So a little bit tougher on that one.
Ryan, how about you?
I like Ragnarok a lot. Like, it's my favorite Thor movie. It's got the right balance of comedy and action and all that good stuff in there. And the dynamic between Hulk and Thor is cool. But Infinity War, like Mike said, everybody's got a good, solid arc in it. You get to see everybody a little differently. There's some great fight scenes. The Wakanda fight scene when Thor comes down with the bridge is just awesome. So I got to go with that. I think I like Infinity War just a little bit more than Endgame, but yeah.
It's paced a little faster, so that's really what gives it the edge, if anything. Dell, how about you?
I love Infinity War. That's my number 1 MCU movie, so I was going to vote for it regardless. But I do love Ragnarok. I think is in my top 5 MCU too. I think it's a case of it just got a bad draw that it came up against Infinity War, because against a lot of other movies, it could have went far. It could have been a contender, as they say.
As they say in the movies.
Yes.
Tracy, how about you?
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things that I feel like when we're looking at things that are a part 1 and a part 2, I've been rooting for the fact that Across the Spider-Verse is a part 1 of a part 2. You know, it's a 2-parter, and I think they did it so beautifully in that. And I think they did that so well in Infinity War, knowing that you're going to have that epic thing in the second one leading up to that. And it was, I think, perfectly executed.
Totally agree. Well, that's an easy one to agree upon. But yeah, that's probably the hardest matchup we might have tonight. I mean, we all answered pretty quickly, all things considered. But it's hard not to when everyone's favorite is the same movie, essentially. All right, this one was, I mean, probably kind of obvious, but it's a weird one. We have Ben Affleck's Daredevil and the original 2000 X-Men.
Are we talking Daredevil director's cut or just the theatrical?
Whatever you want, honestly. I could care less.
I've heard the director's cut is like phenomenal, but I haven't seen it.
Whatever
they
makes
cut, you there's a better story arc in it. They cut out a lot of the lovey-dovey stuff, and it's a tighter, better movie.
It's a lot better. Yeah.
Even though it's longer, it's tighter. It's crazy.
There's like an entire subplot with Coolio they cut out of the Yeah, it's substantially better. I like Daredevil. I've always enjoyed it. But that's because I like superhero movies back when there weren't as many, 20 years ago. World. Okay. Except for Mike, he's a baby. 3, 2, 1. I went the X-Men.
Sorry.
all X-Men all the way.
Yep.
Cool. We'll go in reverse order. Tracy, why'd you pick X-Men?
I think it was at the right time and the right place, and that's really got people pumped about the X-Men as far as live action films go. And I think the casting is really spot on in that film, and I think that's what people still look to when we're all discussing out future possibilities about the X-Men being involved in the MCU moving forward. So,
Dell, how about you?
Yeah, Daredevil's theatrical cut is good, but still not quite as good as X-Men to me. It was like she said, right time, right place, and the casting was amazing. And on top of that, it was a team up movie, even though people don't think of it as that. But it managed to do it without feeling cluttered and crowded. Like, for instance, that was one of the big problems with Spider-Man 3. It's just everything felt like there was just too much of everything in the movie, and this had more characters than that, and they still managed to pull it off, tell a coherent story, and we felt for at least Wolverine, and a couple other characters as well.
Nice. Good stuff. Ryan, how about you?
I do have a soft spot for the Daredevil, especially the theatrical cut, but X-Men had one of the longest comic book runs in comic book history. And when it was announced that they're bringing a team together for a movie, it was like everybody wanted to go see that. It was a big deal. And they, Dell's right. They picked a great cast. It's all around a great movie. Now, 2 and 3, 2's good. 3 is just bad.
It has its moments. It's the Marvel curse of the 2000s. The third movie was always as good as the rest of them. Mike, how about you?
Yeah, I like both of the movies. I grew up on both of them, so I do think Daredevil gets unfairly hated sometimes. You still got a good cast in there. Ben Affleck is great. Kingpin is amazing in the movie, in my opinion. Bullseye's pretty good. So I still like that movie, but I mean, come on. It's X-Men. All the cast members you get, all the great characters, how they use all their power sets, but then it's also just a really good, solid story. And it kind of throws you off at the beginning with the opening scene of Magneto crushing the gate. You're like, am I even watching a superhero movie right now? Like, this is so intense. What's happening here? So to me, that was way different than, other superhero movies before. So yeah, X-Men is just all around the one I would watch way more.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I've always liked Daredevil, and the director's cut, if you haven't seen it, is substantially better than the theatrical cut, and that's coming from someone who actually likes the theatrical cut. But yeah, the only problem with X-Men is that it's like so short. Like Daredevil's short too, but there's a lot less characters in it. I thought the first X-Men was like it felt so small compared to like what little 14-year-old me envisioned being like a huge X-Men fan at the time. They were my favorite. Them and like Hulk are my favorite two things. So, but seeing them in the theater the first time, I was literally having heart palpitations. I've said that multiple times because I was so excited to see X-Men on screen. And although it wasn't as great as I was hoping it would be, mainly because they didn't have like any of my favorite X-Men in it besides like Wolverine. I'm a Colossus Nightcrawler guy. It's still great. I like the second one more, but the first one is a solid early 2000s action movie with the wannabe Matrix costumes.
Ooh.
Deadpool, the original Deadpool, and Guardians of the Galaxy. These are both like the funny ones, so it's kind of hard to like differentiate it for that reason. Trying to be careful and not remove the wrong window. There we go. All right, we all good?
Good.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Bam. Guardians. That looks like a Deadpool face. Tracy, what do you got? It's hard to read for some reason.
Oh, sorry, Guardians.
Okay. Guardians it is. Yeah, this is a
You got
case
your
where
reading
like
glasses on tonight.
great. What?
I said you got your reading glasses on tonight.
No, I just can't see anyways. Between the glare and the being blind in general. I would expand it to be like my whole laptop screen, but then I can't fart around with all the stuff on StreamYard, so it kind of makes it annoying. But yeah, Guardians is fantastic. Everyone knew exactly what Deadpool was going to be when it came out, I would say. At least anyone who knows what Deadpool is. Guardians, even to people who know what Guardians of the Galaxy was a surprisingly fun movie, and it's top, probably, yeah, at least top 5 MCU movies for me. And I love Deadpool. And it's the most comic accurate X-Men movie to date, I would say, character-wise at least, so I've always appreciated that about it. How about you, Del?
I like Guardians. I don't love Guardians, at least not the first one. I'm a strange person in that I can't really emotionally connect to the first Guardians, but I do with the second one. So I like that one better. And Deadpool is one of my favorite superhero movies. Also, I'm into the self-aware humor, and plus we got all the action and the gore, and it was just like you said, most comic accurate of the Marvel movies. So that's right up my alley.
Yes. Ryan, how about you?
So I knew nothing about Guardians, like at all. Like it wasn't a comic I read when I was little or anything like that. I don't even think they were around. Oh, they may have been. But when it came out, it was just something fresh and new. I felt like the MCU was going to, it kind of was blossoming again because it was kind of getting stale. I love Deadpool. Deadpool's one of my favorite movies, but after watching it so many times, like the Deadpool shtick is just, it kind of gets annoying after a while, I think. Don't hate me. But I can't wait for 3, though. I will say that. But yeah, Guardians was just, it was fresh, and I really liked it. They brought a good group of people together.
Excellent. And before I accidentally skip Tracy, I'll go to Tracy.
I really feel that James Gunn loves those characters, and it really showed throughout that film. And it was kind of like, out of all the things he, was an advisor for the MCU, that was like his baby, and that trilogy was his baby. And I really appreciate what he did. I think Deadpool was absolutely something that we were all excited for. I had a great time watching Deadpool, and we were like, yes, finally, and it's rated R, like, thank God, all of that. But I think you can feel the director's presence a little bit more in Guardians just because of how he handled those characters. But that's not really a fault to Deadpool either, but I think there was a personalization that I felt with that film.
Sure. Yeah, Deadpool is basically just Ryan Reynolds doing Ryan Reynolds in a Deadpool costume, but it works perfectly. So
It does, yeah, that works really well.
That's what it is. So no argument here. Mike, how about you?
I'm more annoyed by him now doing Deadpool in every other movie he's in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just what he always has been. They just took him 20 years to realize it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Deadpool, it's a fun, raunchy comedy. There's great action moments, but once again, it is Ryan Reynolds being Ryan Reynolds, so you always get that. For Guardians of the Galaxy, something very unexpected, getting awesome characters introduced to us for the first time, at least, once again, we didn't know about. They did a great job with all of them. I mean, Rocket, Groot are both standouts, but I mean, the soundtrack alone for Guardians of the Galaxy makes it more memorable, but I just think it's more enjoyable, more rewatchable than Deadpool.
Right.
Yeah, you got to give Ryan Reynolds credit, though. I mean, they filmed the teaser, or not the teaser, the test footage for that. It sat on the shelves for 4 years, and he worked his ass off to get it out. So,
yeah. Again, they took like a substantially lower budget just to get it made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he put like a lot of his own money into it just to get it done and everything. And it looks great. Like for a mid-budget action movie, it's fantastic. Like they just need to make more of those in general. Like that's why I think that's my favorite thing about that movie is that it feels more or less as big as any other superhero movie that comes out, but it has half the budget or less. It's like a $60 million budget or something like that.
Wow.
So it's crazy which is sad that it's a low budget nowadays. That would have been that's like bigger than Superman back in the day. So. Just funny. And I got to promote my crappy Hoot and a Half shirt, which is Guardians of the Galaxy theme. So you got to do that. So the next round is two very, very, very different kinds of superhero movies.
Ooh.
Yeah. Spider-Man No Way Home. So the one with all the Spider-Mans.
I was going to say that's the third one, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And Joker. Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
This is a really tough one.
Yeah.
This is really, really tough.
They're both so good and weird and different, and
Yeah.
I like them both for so many different legitimate and illegitimate reasons.
I'm about to put yours in there. I'll put mine in there first. I'll stop you.
Mind me, I'm just doodling. All right, now
Sorry.
move this here.
Man.
Everybody ready?
I just-
3, 2, 1. Flip them. Spider-Man,
Wow.
Joker. I can't read yours, Tracy. Sorry, Joker. Wow, I almost went Joker too. See, that's just the nostalgia factor getting me on that one.
And I almost went Spider-Man. I guess it's really tough.
It is.
I'm kind of
feeling
glad
like
everyone else went Joker because I sort of wanted to pick Joker just because it's objectively a substantially better movie than Spider-Man No Way Home. But No Way Home was just so much fun, and I've watched it a million times. Rewatchability and nostalgia factor were the only two reasons I picked Spider-Man over Joker. But yeah. How about you, Tracy?
I think it's like not really a wrong answer because the one thing I toyed with was yes, I mean if you look at filmmaking, the Joker is a better film in whatever you want to critique. But again, the Spider-Man film is like a really great superhero comic book movie that they pulled in all the villains and Willem Dafoe and Doc Ock. I'm blanking.
Alfred Molina.
Alfred Molina. Thank you so much.
Jamie Foxx.
And the Joker is more of an origin story, but I think it was such a specific direction that they took with the Joker. And they didn't have to rely on nostalgia, which I don't really feel like is a problem. And I feel like people complain about that all the time now. So, but I had to go with Joaquin Phoenix's performance and what they did with that, and before he became the Joker, really, or his turning into the Joker.
Totally. Yeah, I love that movie. I need to watch it again. I haven't seen it since it's on theaters. Del.
Yeah, she hit the nail on the head, really, and Joaquin Phoenix really puts it over the top versus No Way Home. And I don't think the nostalgia is like a big problem as far as movies relying on that, but in this case, it doesn't hit the same at home is what my issue is. I went to the theater, I saw it, and yeah, when Andrew Garfield comes in, Tobey Maguire comes in, you get the big whoop. Everybody in the theater was all excited. But once you've seen that once and you go watch it at home, it's like, oh, yeah, well, it's cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. I mean, overall, I do really like the movie, but it's not up to the Joker standards, I don't think.
Right. Ryan.
So Joaquin Phoenix is like in my top 3 favorite actors. So Joker, you don't even have to name the movie Joker. Like that movie standalone could be named anything, and it's just a great dramatic piece. Nostalgia factor for Spider-Man. I really loved the movie. I did, but I've never been a fan of Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. Toby was my Spider-Man, and Tom Holland a good representation of Spider-Man, but it was nostalgia. It was good, but it was nostalgia. I prefer Joker just a little bit more.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, Joker was the clear choice for me here. It's in my top 20 favorite movies of all time. It's a masterpiece, and No Way Home is all fan service. The story's weak, and it's not even the best out of the Homecoming movies. It's my least favorite out of the Tom Holland trilogy.
oh yeah, yeah. I'd say it's objectively the worst, but it's the most fun. It's weird how it works out that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joker is substantially the more
That
objective.
hallway scene with Tom Holland and Willem Dafoe, that was so good. That
Yeah.
fight scene, I thought, oh my goodness.
Oh,
It's got lots of great parts to it. It's just like Mike said, though, lots and lots of fan service more than an actual good story all the way through. But Willem Dafoe, I mean, he pretty much saved it more than anything else for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the best part of the movie by far.
Yeah.
They did a good job considering how much crap they crammed into it with very little explanation. Like, yeah, sure, I'll buy that. I mean, if everything else about it would have been bad, I don't think people would have forgiven it. All right.
Oh.
Here's a doozy for you. Superman, the movie. And Logan. I got the picture with the little Deadpool hand holding him instead. That would have been funny. Hey. You all good?
Hold on, give me a sec. I've started something and I erased it.
All
right.
I'm
Ready.
3, 2, 1, flip them. Superman.
Yes.
Logan. Wow, that's too bad. Really? I mean, I like Logan. I just watched it again finally since the first time I saw it in theaters for this like a week ago, and I'm like, yeah, it's still pretty good. I just find it kind of repetitive and slow. But it's
I
great.
agree.
It's a great movie, but the second half of it's just them telling him he's dying for an hour and a half. But I like the old man Logan story, and I'm glad they made it into a real legitimate movie, acting and trying hard. But I mean, Superman the movie, it's the OG. I love
It's funny how easy the first couple rounds were, and then the past couple ones have been like really challenging.
It'll get well, technically it should get harder as it goes in theory. But, am I the only one who picked Superman? No, Mike did. Why'd you pick Superman?
I picked Superman. Well, I'm just not a giant Logan fan. To me, I'm not really a fan of the Western genre, and that's really what Logan is, but combined with a superhero movie. So it's just a little slow to me. It's not as exciting, more dramatic piece. Superman the movie, it's Superman. Come on, you got Christopher Reeves flying through the air. I love the Krypton scene with all the ice and statues, and it's just a cool environment. The John Williams score, once the score kicks on, I just fell in love with the movie. So to me, it's Superman the movie. Come on, it's the best Superman. Well, now Man of Steel is better, but still one of the best Superman movies out there.
Superman 4 is better than Superman of Steel.
Not a Man of Steel fan? Oh gosh.
No, I like it. It's fine. Ryan.
So Logan was an easy pick for me. One, I love the Logan, the old man Logan line. Neo-noir Western. I love the black and white cut. It's really good, but I wish Kal-El was still in the chat, because the reason I didn't pick Superman is because I can't stand Superman. He is a superhero that is too perfect, and he just rubs me. He grinds my gears. How about that?
Yeah. That is like the one thing I don't like about him, is that it's like, oh, he's too powerful often.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I like him. Yeah. I get that, though. It's an apt argument for sure. Dale, how about you? It's kind of surprised you went Logan, because I know you like Superman a lot.
I do like Superman the movie. I mean, I grew up on that movie. It's a fantastic movie. But what Logan does, and I do like Westerns. I'm not a huge fan of Westerns, but I do like them. And Logan combining, like I said, the film noir and Western and the superhero movie, and giving us a great dramatic send-off for this character that we've been spending almost 2 decades with by this point. It
Right.
was just phenomenal. And then just stacking the two movies up together, the hokiness of the ending of Superman, the movie, kind of also drew.
Oh, sure.
Plus
Oh, yeah, a lot of
X-23,
people
she
don't
kicks
like
ass.
Yes.
Yeah, she is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of people kind of poo-poo the ending of Superman because it's sort of a cop-out.
Yes.
But it's Superman. He can do whatever he wants most of the time, unless they can't. Depending on who's writing it. Tracy, how about you?
I think about all the positives I would have to say about Logan. I think Dell hit it spot on. And my only thing about Superman, I think Superman for its era was probably to see that in the theaters probably was the biggest deal and a really amazing time. I know the Snyderverse is not perfect, but I love Man of Steel, and I do like that more realistic, grounded take on Clark Kent. And so I don't know if that film goes as deep. I mean, it does in certain ways, but I just feel like it is a more complex character in Man of Steel than in the original Superman film. And I just think, Hugh Jackman that send off as of Logan, that character, I thought was just so beautifully done.
No arguments here.
It was a big deal to see it in the theater. I did see it back, and I'm giving my age away, but I did see it in the theater way back when. And it was phenomenal to see Superman in the theater.
Yeah.
Before that, all we had was George Reeves and his flying. So yeah.
Literally that's it. Well, that was a surprising one, I would say. I mean, if it was up against Logan, probably either of those would have won whatever I was up against. Wonder Woman and the Batman. Batman, not the Batman.
Are we finishing out this side of the bracket first?
That's how it goes.
Okay.
I have no control over it, so yes. I kind of wish you could do it the other way, but whatever. Wonder Woman and Batman 89. Everyone ready? 3, 2, 1. Flip them. Yeah, Batman. Dude, more Batmans. That doesn't surprise me. But yeah, I mean, like I said before, I like Wonder Woman. It's one of the better DC movies, but I don't think many of them are very good. The DCEU movies, at least. But Batman, on the other hand, is not perfect, but it's like the best Batman movie we ever got for 20 odd years. And then the first real one we ever got, that wasn't the Adam West TV spin-off movie. Anyone else have anything they want to say about why they love Batman more than Wonder Woman?
Well, I'll just say, yeah. I mean, you said a lot about it, and we talked about it. It's the weakness of Wonder Woman's third act that really just kind of sinks it. It's a good movie. I really do like the movie, but that final battle just goes on forever for no reason, and there's so much talking and so much CGI. It was almost like it came from a different movie.
Yeah,
and just plopped onto the end.
And Batman has a great third act, so
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
Great soundtrack too.
great soundtrack.
I don't know much about the history of Wonder Woman. Didn't they just give her random superpowers too? Didn't they just sneak some stuff in there, or was that in the second movie?
That might have been the second one. I can't remember.
Might have been the second movie.
Because the first one, all she really does is, I mean, she's super strong and fast and
as her
lasso thing. I can't think of anything else she does in the first one.
Really
The second one,
high.
she has the invisible jet or whatever, right? Just curious. Yeah, I don't know.
I think the Batman too. Tim Burton's Gotham is so artistic and really creative, and that was I can't think of anything that was like that prior to that coming out in theaters. So
Well, I will say for Wonder Woman, the Themyscira scenes were very artfully done, and they were fantastic. So those were good too.
And in the comic books, isn't it World War II instead of World War I, but they changed it for the movie?
I think so.
Because they were like, it's too much like Captain America. Let's change it to World War I, which is essentially what that movie is. That's funny. All right. Well, we thought that one was hard. How about that one? The Dark Knight versus Avengers Infinity War. At least a few of them are, there's no wrong answers situations. The Dark Knight versus Avengers Infinity War.
Hold on, I'm doodling.
Weird.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Avengers, Dark Knight, Avengers, Batman, Avengers. Wow.
I'm shocked.
Avengers gets it. Yeah, I can see the main reason I voted Avengers. I mean, I'm a Marvel guy over a DC guy. But Batman is like the best DC character in my opinion, and the only one I actually like most of the things about him. But it's the whole, once you take Heath Ledger out of the movie, it's nothing special. I mean, it's good, but it's not amazing. When being just a hardcore Marvel fan, I just had to give the edge to Infinity War. Dark Knight's not even my favorite Batman movie, like I said.
Yep. And I mean, Christian Bale's like the 6th Batman, so like you've already got Batman fatigue in it, which I know we're getting superhero fatigue with the Marvel stuff, but by the time Infinity War starts to shut down and bring everything together, like you just got a great story all the way through.
Yeah, and it's pretty much the last time that franchise. I mean, the whole MCU was great, I would say. Legitimately great, not just like it made a good. Because like No Way Home, like you were saying, like everyone loves it and it's fun, but it's not like as well put together and thought through as the Infinity War Endgame 1-2 punch were, which they obviously had planned a little bit longer. Anyone else have any words to say about the passing of the Dark Knight?
I mean that, like I said earlier, that was my hopeful to win. But Infinity War, if Dark Knight is my number 1, Infinity War is like my number 2. So I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
I feel the same way. If Dark Knight's going to be taken out, I'm happy Infinity War did it. So
you're right. Yeah, there's not many movies I would take it out, and that's the one I was worried about that they matched up so quickly.
I just think too, like setting the groundwork with all these different characters, and again, you guys all said you don't feel the runtime at all. The script for The Dark Knight, and again, I'm not saying the performances aren't bad. I think Christopher Nolan's a phenomenal filmmaker, so that like it's apples and oranges at this point. But I think like trying to organize all of the characters for Infinity War and write them in a way that makes sense is a little bit more complicated than having an incredible mind like Heath Ledger improv on set and have the beautiful cinematography that Christopher Nolan always has.
Sure. Yeah, it's harder to make 30 characters in one movie work than 2. I would think. Yeah, I mean, Dark Knight's one of those movies where it's like I watched it so many times whenever it came out that I was like, I could never watch this again, and I'd probably be okay at this point. Doesn't mean it's bad. It means I've seen it too many times. All right, X-Men and Guardians of the Galaxy, battle of the team-up movies right off the bat, without any movies leading up to them. Real team-up movies. X-Men and Guardians. Y'all good? All right, 3, 2, 1. I did Guardians, X-Men. What'd you put? Dance battle. Tracy, what's your say? Sorry, it's so glary I can't read.
Oh, Guardians.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, you're good. It's my fault for having cataracts at the age of 30. And so Guardians takes it over the X-Men's. Yeah. As much as I love X-Men, like I love the characters in X-Men and everything, this wasn't really an X-Men movie to me. It was just a movie that happened to be titled X-Men with some X-Men characters in it. If the X-Men movie would have been as X-Men-y as the Guardians of the Galaxy movie was Guardians of the Galaxy, I probably would have picked X-Men. But they took this ragtag group of characters, even a Marvel fan like myself, barely knew. Like I'd only known of a couple of them because the Guardians of the Galaxy team I know, none of these characters are on the team except for Yondu. So even this was all new to me. Even but X-Men, you take all these characters I've known and loved for my life until that point. It's just like, yeah, they're nothing like this in the comics. So that's the main reason I had to pick Guardians over that. Anyone else have anything to say?
Yeah, I went with Guardians too because I mean I'm kind of with you on that. The X-Men movie, I like it. I voted for it last time it was up. I mean, but it's definitely got some flaws in it. And as much as I say I don't connect with Guardians of the Galaxy, it is the better movie. It just is. So.
It's the perfect team up movie, I would say, as far as
I picked the X-Men because I seen the other side of the bracket, and the other X-Men movie is going to get a hole stomped in it. So I was trying to get at least one X-Men movie in there.
I'll be honest. If this had if it had been X2, I would have voted for that over Guardians. But.
I might have because I prefer X-Men 2. Yeah, so yeah, those are like I was saying before. Most of these are ones I did polls on Instagram. Like I did all 3 X-Men movies, and then X-Men 1 got more votes than X-Men 2, which kind of surprised me, honestly. Same thing goes for Guardians and like Hellboy and Captain America, a whole bunch of them. So I think I did the Wolverine one too and Logan one, which wasn't surprising.
Right.
I think I still did it. Same goes for the Dark Knight trilogy. All right. This one. Which R-rated dramatic version of these superhero tales do you like better? I'm picking the one with 5 letters in its title. All good. Didn't take too long to write these, right? 3, 2, 1. Joker, Joker, Joker. The Shane remake and Joker. Joker takes it. The Shane remake. Don't they reference it in the movie too?
A lot.
Yeah, I just watched it. I'm like, oh yeah, Shane. It is like Shane. I should watch Shane sometime.
Yeah,
I've owned it. I've owned it for 20 years and never watched it. Yeah, like I've always thought Logan was kind of slow paced and a tad overrated. Like it's good and there's nothing like terrible about it or anything. I'm just like, yeah, I get it. Then it goes on for another half an hour.
Yep.
Joker, I just think we're all better in essentially every way. Personally. Anyone else?
Yeah, me just I really like Logan, and I just adore just about everything about it, and I really like Joker too. It was really close, but I just had to stick with Logan on it.
Nice.
Yep.
Excellente. All right. Bam. I'm just going to be taking on all these Batman. Taking on all these Batmans at least. Batman 89 and Infinity War. All right, we all good? Yep. 3, 2, 1, bam. Infinity War, and wow! Queen Sweep for Avengers? That's kind of surprising. I mean, yeah, if it's not going to be Dark Knight, if it's going to be Dark Knight, it's going to be Batman 89. That's all I'll say.
Yeah. And Batman 89, it's like I said, it's my Batman. It's my favorite Batman, but Infinity War, you're just bringing, 20 movies together, 15 characters into this just massive, just awesome movie. It's kind of hard to beat that.
Mm-hmm. No arguments here. Okay, then. Guardians versus Joker.
Sticking to my guns.
Yeah, I'm going more back and forth than I usually do in these things.
It's so interesting to compare the Joker because it's so different than
yeah, exactly.
And it's not even like a superhero movie. which I
and-
love it, but it's so hard because it's such an amazing film.
You're right.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. You can literally take the Joker name off of it, take the face paint off of it, and you just got this dramatic drama thriller piece that's not even superhero related at all.
Yeah. You just got Taxi Driver meets the
Yeah.
other one. The other Scorsese
Teen
movie.
comedy.
Yeah, thank you. And also the score in Joker is amazing. And I don't think
Phenomenal.
Yeah, good score.
oh, I need to watch Joker now. Okay. 3. I've only watched it once. 3, 2, 1. I went Guardians still. Guardians, Joker, and Joe. What do you got, Tracy?
Guardians.
Guardians. It looked like a lot of words. I'm going to assume it's Guardians. Joker takes it.
And that's
Not
so
arguing.
hard. Oh my god, I think that was like the hardest one for me for sure. That was-
Guardians, I mean, pretty much just wins on replay value alone for me. And it's like the perfect fun, like space superhero adventure movie. And the sequel. I love the second one just as much. Joker is very, very different.
I was really just trying to analyze, like, is it a superhero movie or is it a villain movie? And are we comparing villains movies and superhero movies, or so.
Right, yeah. That's why I'm trying to make some rule. I was originally not going to have any animated movies in here. But I was like, well, that's not fair. I should have at least a couple. Then I just decided to make it have to be based on comic books and not have like The Incredibles and stuff like that in here. So here we go. I think it's the last one of this round, or this half. Infinity War versus the Joker. Infinity War versus the Joker. Let's remove myself. There we go. It's going swiftly, so this is working. We all good?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Flip them when you got them. Avengers, Joker, Avengers, and Avengers. Avengers takes it. But yeah, it's, even though Joker's amazing, it's like you were just saying, Tracy. It's like, what's the more superhero movie out of the two?
Yeah.
I love her so much. I can't wait for Folie à Deux. Like, I love everything about that. So it was that was a tough one.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like if I had watched Joker more, but the fact is, it's one of the movies where it's like, it's really, really good. I loved everything about it. But it's not one I like need to watch again. Kind of, it's hard to get.
And I actually feel like the Joker and Robert Pattinson's Batman are kind of in that same universe, even though they're not. But I like that direction that things are going in the Elseworlds, a lot. So.
In the good DC movies?
Yeah.
Yeah. They definitely have a similar feel.
Yeah. Yeah, the Batman sadly is not on here. It was eligible to be here, but didn't make the cut. Marvel snuck in instead. So
Yeah, I can definitely see Joaquin Phoenix's Joker taking on Pattinson's.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
even then it would be like, because weren't they saying like the Joker is like it's in the past essentially, so it'd be like his successor Joker would probably be the one to actually fight him.
Yeah, the timelines wouldn't match up at all. So.
No.
He like inspires the real Joker to be the Joker. It's kind of like whatever.
We can do some comic book movie magic and make it work.
Right.
We can do that.
Or just a really old Joker, and they made Joker super old. Then
Yeah, they could.
Grandpa Joker.
We can have,
Phoenix to play anything. He could do it.
I mean, Doctor Strange could actually pull, Joker into Batman's world or something like that. We have a big old MCU, DCU crossover.
I know. It's like the only other exception of when I would actually want a multiverse again.
Flash runs through and screws everything up, and then watches Phoenix.
Let's see. There you go. That's how we do it.
He's like, I'm here to ruin successful franchises. Damn it.
Oh, the other side.
Damn it, Ezra. All right.
Ooh.
Men in Black and the Black Panther. That's a coincidental matchup. Okay. And they're both Marvel movies, oddly enough. I believe Men in Black is technically a Marvel movie, or it's a company related to Marvel that prints it. We all ready? 2, 1. I'm going with the MIB. What do you got, Tracy? Black Panther?
Black Panther, yeah.
Oh, Black Panther takes it.
Yeah.
Being right with the old guys who like the Men in Black, apparently.
I am mildly surprised.
I like Black
I
Panther.
yeah.
Men in Black.
I like Black Panther. I almost kind of like Black Panther 2 more, just because the impact of Boseman's death and all that. Like, I liked how they handled it and all that. But Men in Black is just classic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a great superhero movie before they were cool, which is I tried to get a few of those in here, the pre-Marvel DC days. And yeah, Black Panther I've always thought was like really good. It's definitely an above average comic book movie, but I never thought it was like amazing. But it, like we were saying 100 times already, it has a really good villain, and that's what makes it better than most of the other comic book movies.
Killmonger is
If it didn't have as good of a villain, it would be just like then everyone would just be complaining about his terrible visual effects like the Flash.
That's the downfall of Black Panther, is it's just got some crappy CGI in it at times.
It's pretty bad for the most part.
But the villain is amazing and makes up for a lot of it.
Mm-hmm. Luckily, it has good enough art direction and everything else.
Yes. And not to mention, this is really the first MCU movie where the women really stepped up to the forefront also. So
yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah.
To the point where they had to try to replicate it every time after that in like Avengers and Infinity Wars. Like, we did it again. And we're like, yeah, we know. Anyone else have anything to say about their Men in Black or Black?
Yeah, I didn't even know Men in Black was considered a superhero movie. I always saw it just as a science fiction movie. So Black Panther won by default for me.
Fair enough. It's a comic book, so it's in there.
Yeah. I love Black Panther, and it won Best Picture, right? Did it?
It was nominated for Best Picture.
Or was nominated.
It won SAG Ensemble.
It won something though, right? It won was it costume design?
I think it won Best Costuming.
It won costumes and score and art direction.
I think it also won costumes not 2 years in a row, but for the sequel as well.
Wakanda Forever, yeah.
Yeah,
the movie looked great, and you got Killmonger too. Killmonger's an awesome villain in the movie.
Yeah, he's great. I actually went to the Minneapolis Orchestra a year or two ago to see the Black Panther live thing. That was awesome. And they had the guy who did the actual score of the movie, the drummer, play it and everything. It was great. I was like in the first row, but it sucks because the screen's way up here. I'm like, I guess I'll get a balcony seat if I come back, so I can actually watch the movie and not have to hurt myself. All right.
I just think the vibe too in the movie theater was like so electric with that film. Seeing it in the theater, people were just so excited. I was really excited. It felt like, oh, let's step out of the box a little bit, because I feel like at that time it was kind of like the same origin story we had been seeing from every superhero in the Marvel universe, and it was like, oh, this is like very different, and Wakanda looks so different, and even if the CGI was a little wonky, like I think the world they created, the story building of that, the world building they did was
I agree. The world building is phenomenal. The art direction, the costuming, the score, all those things are great. And then again, we bring it back to Killmonger. And I mean, it's literally Black Panther. It's not really much of an origin story because he's a secondary character in the movie for most of the film. But everything else works pretty much.
Yeah. And they kind of do it in a clever way where like he already is Black Panther because of Civil War and all that stuff. But you see how he became Black Panther through him losing his powers and having to get it back again. It's kind of, which is like the one thing the Flash movie did that I thought was pretty good.
Yes, I agree with that.
I was like, oh, you backhanded origin story to him. That was clever. All right, Del, this one's for you.
Uh-oh.
We got the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie against the Lego Batman movie.
Oh man.
I think there's only 2 animated movies in here. There was a few originally. So like Batman: Mask of the Phantasm was in the running, but I already had like 3 other Batman movies, so I actually need that one. The new Turtle movie looks fun though.
It looks interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, like I'll go see that. It comes out on my birthday. I'm like, yeah, I'll take the kid to that.
Don't tell Nick though; he'll have a heart attack. I don't know if you guys have seen his rant on that movie.
Oh, no. I mean, it can't be any worse than the other crappy ones that came out 10 years ago or whatever. This one looks creative, at least. Are we all good?
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Well, Nick's going to have to spank me because I'm going Lego Batman.
So am I.
Mike with Lego Batman, Turtles, Lego Batman. What do you got,
Lego
Tracy? Wow. I thought that was going to be closer. Lego Batman. I'm
too.
sorry, 80s babies, which I'm one of. Yeah, like I've always liked the Turtles movies, but I've never like loved them. I guess I don't know. And Batman Lego movies is
toys,
a good
I
Batman
had the movie, I had the poster, I had the pajamas, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, man, all the way.
Yeah, and you're talking about like 3 weeks ago. You got those, right?
Well, the pajamas, yeah. I found one that had the butt flap on them. It was cool.
Yeah.
I actually love
That's
the
down
third
to the
one.
bathroom for you.
Does anyone like not hate the third Ninja Turtles movie? Because I actually really like that one.
I like it, yeah.
It gets
I
a
do.
lot of hate, and I really enjoyed it.
Saw it in theaters and fell asleep through it when I was 5, so I don't like it. It's pretty bad when you can't get a 5-year-old to stay awake through your Turtles movie.
I know it was more serious. I think that's why I liked it. I enjoyed it.
I always preferred the second one because I had it on tape and I'd watch it constantly, and it has Vanilla Ice, so it's automatically better. But the first one has Sam Rockwell in it, so that's cool. Who said Turtles out of everyone? I forget. Was it Ryan? Why do you hate Lego Batman so much?
I don't hate it. I like the Lego movies. I think they're inventive. I think they're fun. Just the Lego Batman, for some reason, when I watched it, it just didn't click with me like the Lego movie did, because I watched it after the Lego. I guess it came out after the Lego movie, didn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. There's something about it I just didn't jive with.
Fair enough. I was surprised. It's a better Batman story than most Batman movies for some reason.
Yeah, it
is
is
the Bat family, which like none of the other ones do, which is funny.
It is, and it really, honestly, it's a spoof of Batman.
Right.
Truthfully, and again, me and the self-aware humor kind of thing, it just really clicked with me, and I think it was really smart about the way it went about talking about the history of Batman and the character and how they got through it all. And I just really enjoyed it. It's one of my favorite Batman movies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it gets the Batman and Joker relationship perfect in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get so many Batman villain references, and even all the obscure villains you've like never heard of pop up. So
yeah, and
even
even
the songs are great too.
Yeah, and even the other superheroes kind of reaction to him, or not inviting him to the party at the Solitude, that kind of thing. And he always puts off that, like, if you watch Justice League stuff, you get the feeling that Batman might not be invited to the party.
It's a better Justice League movie than the Justice League movies we got too. So
yeah.
And I love Michael Cera's Robin.
Yeah, he's hilarious.
Yes, he's hilarious.
Everyone's casted pretty well in that movie. This is an interesting one. It's probably the first one that's like two obscure on their own titles.
Ooh.
Dick Tracy, now playing everywhere apparently. Hellboy. Right. We all good. 3, 2, 1. Flip on. Dick Tracy all the way for me. Hellboy. Dick
I said
Tracy. Hellboy. You said Hellboy, Ryan?
Yeah, Hellboy.
Hellboys, huh? That makes me sad.
Yeah,
Sorry, Bill.
I'm with you. Me too, Derek.
I was like, oh, Dick Tracy's up against something it could actually beat. Oh. Damn it.
To be fair, I haven't seen Dick Tracy.
Oh, that's great. I'll just say it needs a 4K because I say it anytime I mention it.
Yeah, it's
It
so
absolutely
bright,
does.
so colorful. I mean, HDR would just really pop with that movie. It's gorgeous. It would be gorgeous. I think it's good looking on Blu-ray. It really needs that 4K love.
That's
And
another one that won and got nominated for a bunch of visual Oscars, like its costume design and the makeup and the music and everything. It deserves it. Yeah, I
the
remember seeing
makeup
that in theaters.
is crazy. The makeup still, last time I watched it a few years back, and the makeup it still holds up. It's crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't look real necessarily, but it's just like it's perfect for what it is.
Yeah, if you used to read I used to read the Dick Tracy comic strip, not back in the day, and when they used to print them in newspapers, and the way they looked in the comic strip is the way it looks on the screen. So it's perfect.
And I like Hellboy a lot too, but I like Hellboy 2 more than Hellboy 1. I was surprised Hellboy when I did the Hellboy poll. I'm surprised Hellboy 1 beat Hellboy 2 because I thought that was
They're
More
pretty
out.
I
similar.
think a lot of
pretty even
people
for
don't
me.
like Hellboy 2 because Guillermo just went like full Guillermo in it, and I think it turned a lot of people off.
That's what made it better though. All the creatures and everything, and the makeup was better. The first one was kind of just like a pretty straightforward story with some cool characters. The second one was just like, this is crazy, and then the other one just sucks.
I haven't seen the second one, but I actually, I've heard such mixed things. It's either people overly love the second one better or they're not a fan. But I do like Guillermo del Toro a lot, so I need to watch that one.
You probably, if you like Guillermo del Toro, you'd probably prefer Hellboy 2 to Hellboy 1. I just think it's a more interesting story too.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I picked Hellboy, but I seen Dick Tracy in the theater. I liked Dick Tracy a lot, but I haven't watched it since the theater. Hellboy just to me was something fresh. It was one of those alternative cartoon or comic characters that came up. They made a movie for it, and it just blew me away. It was just something new and fresh.
Yeah, which also has amazing makeup. Those were two movies with amazing makeup. That's the only thing they had in common besides being comic book movies, is that they both had great makeup.
So
Yeah,
Tiana just asked if that was a storm. Yes, it is. We've been having thunderstorms here in my town all day, and it's another one's rolling through now. So if I disappear, I got sucked up in a tornado.
Cool. Yeah, that's Derek, the other Derek. Your hangout got his swing set built for his kids finally, and then it blew over because of the storm.
He's about 2.5 hours northwest of me.
I was like, you should just burn it. It felt so bad. We just burn it now. Well, I would have given up. I'm sorry, I'm kind of ignoring the chat. It's just that these things usually take longer than this has been taking. So I'll at least say hi to people I haven't said hi to before, like Tiana, who's here. Cody's here.
Yes.
Hey, I got the right comment. That was a good accident. Don't
Cody
forget
did a great review on The Flash, by the way. It was really fun, and he dressed up as Batman.
I didn't watch it.
I need to check that one out.
The Phantom in the top two. He's Blank Man's not a comic book, and the Phantom isn't on here. I'm sorry. Morbius, the Phantom spot. It had a fair shot.
I said the Phantom was in the draw, wasn't it?
What's that? Phantom, yeah.
Yeah, the
Phantom was there. Steel was there. I was kind of hoping they'd both get in because it's hilarious. And then Morbius gets the last spot, and it was like, oh, that's perfect. And no bad movie. Thanks for being here. All right, next one. Spider-Man 2. Use the Dr. Octopus poster to make it obvious.
Ooh.
And The Watchmen.
God, why are these getting so hard?
The visionary director goes 300.
Yeah, this is my pick too.
Well, that's Tracy's pick, I think. Your pick was The Crow.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
You both said Watchmen. I'm like, well, one of you can have it.
Yeah, I mentioned The Watchmen. That's right.
I think I just did The Crow for you, like inherently. I'm like, all right, Crow's in. Which I feel bad because it's literally the only movie I haven't watched still out of these. You get a chance to watch. So heads up on that one. Yeah, Spider-Man 2 versus The Watchmen. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Flip them. Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man, and we got a Watchmen. I'm guessing the person who picked Watchmen, big Watchmen.
I had to. I didn't know it was going to go up against Spider-Man 2.
Right.
I think it doesn't get enough love, and I think
I really like Watchmen. That's my favorite Zack Snyder movie.
Oh yeah, I was going to say if
Yep.
you're not a fan of the Snyderverse, like I think he nailed it, and it is like a perfect like film to adapt a graphic novel, and I love it so much.
Yeah, I really like Watchmen. Actually, my wife likes it a lot too. It's like
And it's
3.5
one of
hours. It's a good 3.5 hour long comic book movie because it takes place over 12 issues or something like that.
Right,
So
and the opening
deserves
credit
going.
sequence of that movie is one of the best opening credit sequences in film ever. Like that is it tells what you need to know, where you're going in a span of a song of Bob Dylan's "Times Are Changing," and it's spot on, beautiful, and perfect. So.
I mean,
my wife and I did our first dance to Unforgettable because of that movie, honestly. Oddly enough.
again, Watchmen was something fresh. Nobody really knew who the Watchmen were. Snyder, I love everything Snyder does outside of the DC. I mean, even I know Watchmen is DC, but it's, I guess, DCEU.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed the Watchmen. I mean, it's easily one of my top 5 comic book movies ever. But Spider-Man 2, it's Spider-Man 2. Like arguably the best Spider-Man movie outside of animated and non-animated movies. But and Alfred Molina just kills it in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 easily my favorite live action Spider-Man movie. Easily, I like Watchmen, and I haven't seen it probably in over 10 years for sure. So I probably need to watch it again. But yeah, Spider-Man 2 is just phenomenal.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 is perfection. My favorite Spider-Man movie as well. So, no brainer for me. And The Watchmen, when I saw it when I was a kid, I did not like it at all. I'm like, what is this? This is not a superhero movie. This is super gross. What is happening? And we didn't even finish it in theaters. We didn't realize how long the movie was. And, like, my family had to get places, so we had to leave like before the third act.
You were turned off by the 3 feet of Dr. Manhattan on screen, weren't you?
Yes, I wasn't going to say that, but now that you mention it, Ryan, exactly. I'm like,
all the Dr. Manhattans.
I was on a date. I was on a first date with a girl. We went to dinner, went and watched the movie, and halfway through the movie, I'm like, oh, great. There's a giant hangdown just sitting right here in front of us.
Yeah. Yeah, I was not used to that kind of superhero movie.
Yeah, no chance to live up to that night.
Yeah. Give it another chance.
No, I wasn't going to at all.
Oh, I love the movie now, though. The movie's great.
Oh, now you do. Okay. I was going to say you deserve to
I got the 4K. I like it. I've matured now. So, yeah. But as a kid, I mean, think about it. You grow up watching Spider-Man, X-Men movies, the cartoons, and then you see, Dr. Manhattan's junks there. So,
and again, like we were talking earlier, you don't really you get a great opening, tells you what you need to know. You really don't get any like origin story for any of the characters, but you see everybody's arc in the movie. You get what everybody's doing in the movie. Watchmen's a great movie. Everybody should at least watch
it. And the comedian was not funny at all. I was kind of disappointed by that as a kid. I'm like, I thought he was supposed to be a funny character telling jokes. I don't know.
Tonight in the city, a comedian died.
So did your parents take you to see that, Mike?
Yeah. My mom
how
and
did
my
that go with Dr. Manhattan pops out there?
It was very awkward.
Now,
maybe my mom enjoyed it. I don't know. I was a little kid at the time. Who knows? But
they edited that for home release, didn't they?
Did they?
Not the one I saw.
Maybe it's just of course it's on the TV. They edited it because on the TV version, he's got a skirt on, not a skirt.
Well,
but a
eventually he puts underwear on, but there is a time where he does not have the underwear.
Yeah, the regular person, he just walks around naked.
TV, but
little Manhattan hanging out.
Yeah, even without that, you have the comedian kill that Vietnamese girl that he got pregnant, and then you also see him like rape Lady Jupiter,
the
mom.
Scarlet,
So it's definitely
Silver.
a very R-rated movie.
Sense, yeah. I need to watch it again. Actually, my wife was in the comments. She's like, Watchmen. Sorry, honey, I voted for Spider-Man. But it's better.
I love Spider-Man 2, by the way. I just had to vote for that one.
Spider-Man 2 is not even my favorite Spider-Man. I'm the one guy apparently who still likes the first one better because I think it's paced better and I love the origin stories. And I take Green Goblin over Dr. Octopus any day.
Yeah, but what I love about Spider-Man 2 is the story where it shows his life balance
Mm-hmm.
How is he a superhero? How does he handle school? How does he handle a job and that decision-making process? I love that story arc right there.
This is
And the
great.
answer to all of those is not very well. Doesn't
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough out there.
Yeah.
And then they botched the third one even after setting it up perfectly,
exactly.
which is too bad. All right. I know which way this one's going to go. Ang Lee's Hulk, the movie that me and 7 other people on the planet like.
I like it as well.
I like it because I love Ang Lee. I think he did really, really well with this.
He made it a real movie.
Yeah.
Which was
A
offensive
real
to some
boring
people.
movie. Yes.
I know a lot of people that actually prefer Edward Norton over Mark Ruffalo.
I do.
I can't stand Mark Ruffalo. I think he is a
I love Mark
terrible
Ruffalo.
banner.
I like it. I just
He's good in
the thing
other
that pissed me
movies.
off about the Incredible Hulk is that it looked nothing like Edward Norton. Like at least in this one, it sort of looks like Eric Bana, and the Mark Ruffalo one looks like Mark Ruffalo. It's like, why doesn't it look like Edward Norton? Like, oh, because he's weird looking and he would look stupid as Hulk. That's why. That's why. Damn it! All right, everyone ready? I mean, y'all only had to write down 4 letters, so it's pretty obvious. Here we go. Spider-Man. Coming from the guy who likes Hulk, even I picked Spider-Man in the Spider-Verse. So, oh, Hulk. What are you pointing up at? Oh, your poster.
Yeah,
That's
Spider-Man
awesome.
poster.
Nice. Yeah. A year ago, I probably would have picked Hulk, but then I watched Into the Spider-Verse like 17 times because my kid was into it, and I'm like, oh wait, this is great.
And Across the Spider-Verse is so brilliant.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
It just keeps getting better. I mean, some people might either like the first movie more than the second one, but it's not like it's bad, you know. It's just progressing forward.
Now,
The only bad thing about it is that it's a 2-parter, so and it's obviously a 2-parter when you watch it. It's like, oh, okay.
But that end,
Still
I was
great,
like scared as hell for Miles. I was like, oh my god, how is he gonna get out of this? Like, it was such a great cliffhanger, and I didn't have a problem with it because it was
I
really
had no problem with that at all.
Yeah.
You get to see him as Prowler and stuff. But anyways, yeah. I'll defend Hulk for a minute.
Well, I chose Hulk. I voted for Hulk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right, yeah. You defend
Yeah,
Hulk.
I mean, I just prefer live action movies, so most of the time a live action movie is going to win for me. And I rewatched both of them recently, and I actually thought the Hulk was a lot better than I remembered. When I saw it as a kid, I probably fell asleep in the theater, but rewatching it, how it's put together, I mean, Ang Lee does a good job of making it edited like a comic book, if that makes sense, how it like kind of plays out. And it has some decent action moments in there, but I think the Hulk's a cool character. I thought the love interest worked in the movie. The action scenes it does have, I think, are actually pretty good. Like the dog scene. I know some people hate on the dog monsters, but I thought it was a pretty decent action scene. If they had a few more action scenes sprinkled out throughout the movie, I think it could have been a great movie because I like how it's filmed and put together. I just thought it lacked a little bit of action.
If Ang Lee would have had 2020 Marvel money, that movie would have been the best Marvel movie ever. Like, but I prefer that Hulk more than Ruffalo. I just think Ruffalo is just a wimpish, weak Banner.
He's supposed to be. He's Bruce Banner.
No, Banner's smart. Banner is a intelligent person, and he just does not make him feel intelligent at all. Like he did in the first half of the movies, but then Thor Ragnarok, it really, really hit me that I really did not like Mark Ruffalo as Banner. But I wish Norton would have. At that point. Yeah, I wish Norton would have continued on, but it was a money issue, and B, somebody in the Marvel universe didn't like him. Movie creating universe.
That's not rare. He's a difficult person to work with, but I think he works well with the people that he finds. Like, you know, it's tough. Yeah. He's such a phenomenal actor.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I agree, Norton over Ruffalo, but Ang Lee's Hulk, I just don't jive with it. The Hulk dogs, I can't. Growing Hulk, I can't.
That's what he does, though. That's why I love that movie, because he gets bigger. It actually shows his powers in this movie for once.
But I'm not a fan of that particular power, and this is probably more due to me growing up with Lou Ferrigno Hulk.
Sure.
You know, once he's the Hulk, that's what he is. He's not, growing in stature as he's the Hulk. He's what he is. He transforms into that, and then there's just a total lack of action until the end of the movie for the most part. So it just didn't work for me.
Yeah, it's definitely paced badly, but I think the movie's good. And like visually, it's so much more interesting than like any MCU movie. You guys, I watched it again somewhat recently. I'm like, you're never gonna see a Hulk fighting a man made of lightning through the sky in an MCU movie. You know, it's just like it's so weird and cool. Yeah, but either way, Spider-Verse is better. Having said that, Spider-Verse is damn good.
Yes.
I'm just happy Hulk made it.
Yeah, I said Spider-Man 2 was my favorite live-action Spider-Man. Into the Spider-Verse, until Across came out, was my favorite Spider-Man movie, period. So,
you like Across more then?
I think I do, but they're real close.
All right,
is that the first Blade or the second Blade?
It is Blade 1 and X-Men First Class.
Both of these are really, really good, but
yeah.
You got to give to the OG
X-Men First Class, which was going to be X-Men Origins Magneto, and I think it evolved into X-Men First Class, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Which is probably a good idea, considering how well that Wolverine one did. Are we all good?
No, I'm sorry. 2 seconds. Again, I feel like it's comparing apples and oranges. It's okay.
Definitely.
Well, they're both Marvel. It's the same thing, right?
Oh. Fuck it. Okay.
Just put Blade First Class and confuse everybody.
Yeah.
We good then? 3,
Yeah.
2, 1. I'm going Blade. If you can read it, I turn my light up because it's dark in here. Blade, X-Men, Blade. All right. That's damn good. Why did you pick it, Del?
Because it's damn good, like you said. It's I like the way they altered the timeline, or they went into a different time of in the timeline, and I really like the way they recast it. I really like the addition of Fassbender into the universe, and McAvoy. Thought they were good stands-in for Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the way the story flowed, and I think it might be the best X-Men movie. And I do like Blade. I really like Blade. I actually prefer Blade 2 though, and that's again Del Toro going full Del Toro.
Yeah, I like them about the same, but yeah,
and I prefer that one.
Yeah, I'm not going to disagree with Del. X-Men First Class, I love the reboot more than I do the original series. Well, at least the first two, I should say. Which I guess I feel the same thing about the first set. But Blade, Blade single-handedly brought comic book movies back to the forefront. Wesley Snipes kills it as Blade.
Yeah,
and it's just one of my favorite cartoon or comic book movies, not cartoon.
Cartoon movies.
It's a total blast to watch, no doubt.
Yeah, it's still fun, even 25 years later now. Jesus Christ! But yeah, I was excited to see Blade in theaters because I was always a Marvel kid, and there was never a Marvel movie to go see in theaters. And Blade was the very first one I got to go see in theaters. I loved it. I always have, and I still like it more than even the original X-Men.
Some of us were around for Howard the Duck, Derek.
Right?
Oh yeah,
I might have been alive for it, but I wasn't old enough to see it in theaters.
Howard the Duck.
Like Punisher, I see Punisher, but not in theaters.
Yeah, and I will agree. Part 2 probably is the better movie, just because Del Toro takes. I love the Reapers, like just the twist on the vampires is really cool.
Yeah, they're cool.
How the mouths open up.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that actor's the same guy. He's the villain in Hellboy too. Like he just likes to put that guy in lots of cool makeup.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, I have a soft spot for Trinity. I think it's fun. Again, early Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds just taking the shots, and I like Jessica Biel's character, and I like not Triple H, but the woman that's the bad guy.
No, you like Triple H.
I think Trinity is fun in a bad way though. It's so bad that it's fun.
Yeah, I need to watch it again. I haven't seen it since theaters, but I do have the triple pack or what have you. But I'm like, it sucks, but I should watch it again. That's so much potential.
Check the infamous eye scene.
Yeah,
from Trinity.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, wouldn't open his eyes.
Oh, the eyes digitally at the end.
Yeah, his eyes onto his eyelids.
He's such a prick. He wouldn't open his eyes on camera.
He was having his movie star moment.
Yeah. Yeah, his career was pretty much out at that point. Mike, what do you think about the two?
Oh yeah, I love the Blade movies. I don't really care for the new X-Men movies, even though it is great cast members, they don't live up to the original X-Men cast. So when I think of all the X-Men characters, I think of Patrick Stewart's Xavier over the new one, right? Who was the new one? James McAvoy, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, I don't think I've gone back and rewatched First Class at all. I would just go back and rewatch the original X-Men movies, but I always go back and rewatch the first Blade. The first one's my favorite out of the whole Blade trilogy. So it's just fun. It's something different. You got vampires in there. It's more graphic. It's just different. And Wesley Snipes does a great job in that first movie. So
some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
That's what I always say.
yeah, and his dialogue, his banter, and he just looks super cool in the movie too, with the sword and everything like that. It's just his gadgets and like going into the nightclub and the blood's raining down. Like that's such a horrific scene.
My favorite part though is still in the hallway in the hospital when he goes back to get the guy he burned up and the cops shoot at him. He turns around and is like, "Are you serious, motherfucker?"
Right. What are you, damn man? Brilliant. Yeah.
We can't forget though Chris Christopherson though.
Whistler.
Fantastic. Yes, as Whistler, he is so good.
And Steven Dorff as blood blob giant monster at the end.
Yeah, he's a better Steven Dorff than usual, I guess.
Yeah. Luckily, they changed the ending from the giant blob CGI monster to actually him fighting.
Yeah.
But didn't he say a quote like he didn't care for superhero movies? Was he one of the ones? I feel like he was.
Probably.
Recently,
I
within
think
the
so.
last couple of years.
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, recently.
And I'm like, dude, what most people know you from is Blade. Show some respect to your movie.
Literally, the only movie anyone likes that you're in is Blade and The Gate.
Are you talking about Wesley Snipes?
No, Dorff.
No.
Dorff. Yeah. I honestly I couldn't name another movie that he was in besides Blade.
I couldn't either. Every now and again, I'll see him and I'm like, "Oh, Blade." That's it.
Oh, right, Steven Dorff's alive. Okay, that's good. I don't know if I'll vote for this one because I feel bad because I haven't seen one of the movies, so I might leave it up to you for it. If there's a tiebreaker needed, then I'll do it. But we got The Crow, Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. What do I like to call it? Superman murders people.
One person.
And his dad is also insane.
Batman kills people all the time in any car chase scene. So
well, all superheroes mostly do. I mean, even Captain America during the wartime stores killed thousands of people out there. So
Michael Keaton's Batman has so many bodies.
Yeah, he's in the second one, right? But we're talking about Superman here. Come on. Man of Steel. I just want to see where you four land on it because I haven't seen The Crow. It's the one movie I haven't watched, and I'm an ass and didn't watch it for those.
I'm very disappointed in you, Derek.
I know. I really wanted to too. So I'm like, I need to watch The Crow.
It's going to be interesting. Let's see.
Time flew by, and I just did not.
I know where Ryan's going, so this is interesting.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm
Ryan
like.
gonna be heartbroken, or
I don't want to pick a movie that I'm like lukewarm on against a movie that I haven't seen. If it's something I like love passionately, I'd be like, I'd probably pick that either way, and then I would pick it. But, all right, 3, 2, 1. What do you guys have? Man of Steel, The Crow. See, exactly what I thought was going to happen.
I had
go ahead and kill it for me, Derek.
I had your back, Ryan. I had your back.
Honestly, I probably like The Crow more than Man of Steel.
I'm going to be honest.
How's that?
I know I said that I hate Superman, but I really did enjoy Man of Steel. And just for exactly what Tracy said earlier, it really humanized him and brought him down to earth and made him a more likable Superman. And Zod. I love
Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon is always good.
Yeah. Michael Shannon is just awesome as Zod.
Sorry.
I mean, I could just leave it up to Excelsior movie reviews.
Yeah.
Since he's seen them both, and I haven't.
Yes.
And we can go with The Crow. Everyone's fine with that. I don't want to vote for a movie I haven't seen, and vice versa.
He's my neighbor. He's just 3 hours north of me, so he's going to vote for The Crow too.
All right. I'm going to go for The Crow then. I'll leave it up to the chat, like I said. Like I like Man of Steel. I loved it when I saw it the first time, and then I saw it 3 times in theaters, and I liked it less and less every time I watched it.
I like it more and more every time I watch
Yeah,
it.
me
actually.
too. I'm with you, Tracy. I like it more and more every
It's
time.
been years, so I should watch it again.
The
And Michael
Krypton
Cera-
scenes at the beginning are so amazing.
I like it, but it's the flaws just bother me. You know, just
Yeah.
the whole thing with his dad.
That
his
did
dad
bother me.
died,
Bother,
That
and
was
bothers the hell out of me.
Yeah, it was
I
weird.
watched a lot of Smallville, and I thought it was very reminiscent of that. And I don't think, obviously, Smallville's like a CW show, so they have to shove like 24 episodes a season. But like, it was not like the worst show on the planet, and it has the best Lex Luthor ever, either with Michael Rosenbaum. Yeah, I don't know. Man of Steel's good, guys.
I
So,
agree. Man of Steel
Rosenbaum-
was amazing. I was shocked that Crow beat it out, but it's okay.
Yeah. Rosenbaum is
It's probably
actually
still my
from the
favorite
city next to me.
DCU movie, and that's how much I like those movies.
You talked over me, Derek. No.
All right,
Tracy just said Rosenbaum. He's actually, so like my city is like a huge city, and he's from the city. It's kind of like a suburb of our city. So he's like a big name around here. He came back
Oh,
and did his
wow.
one high school movie. He filmed a bunch of stuff around here and all that. I've met him like once. He's actually like a super, super nice guy.
Oh yeah, he's funny.
Great podcast. He just did a great interview
Yes.
with James Gunn, actually. You guys should check it out. It's on YouTube. I love it.
Okay.
Interesting.
There's a lot of voice work for animated superhero stuff. So
Yep.
That's right. All right.
I'm sorry, Derek. What are we voting on now?
No, yeah, I want to everyone see what it was. Winter Soldier and Sin City, which is actually a surprisingly difficult bracket to choose from.
Sin City needs a 4K.
Yeah,
Yes!
I agree.
That's what I've been
Hey,
waiting on.
Tracy, you need 4Ks. Everyone watching, all like 10 of you. I'm ready, but not by much. We good? 3, 2, 1. I just drew a little shield because I love Captain America. Winter Soldier, Winter Soldier, Winter Soldier.
I've seen mine. I'm the only person that chose Sin City, so I will just leave it at that.
Fair enough.
If Sin City was
Why
going
did
up
you pick
against
Sin
like
City, though?
half.
It was such a huge impact. I think I was 17 or 18, and I loved the way it was shot with the black and white, with the small pieces of color. It was raw, it was adult, it was really fun. I loved the cast. I think Robert Rodriguez is a very hit or miss director, but I
Yes,
think
he is.
for what Sin City is, I think he absolutely nailed the tone, and I love that movie.
Mhm.
I'm just thinking of that last movie he came out with that I saw in theaters. I don't even remember the title. It was that bad.
I have no idea. Yeah.
Like, it just came out a month ago. It had a Ben Affleck in it, but nobody saw it besides me.
Oh,
Oh.
yeah.
Hypnotic. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I heard about that
I haven't seen
yesterday,
that.
and I was like, "What the hell is this movie we're saying?" Yeah,
Yeah.
Sin City's
I
great though. I love Sin City. It's an extended version's cool, and I like that you can watch the stories all separate on the DVD or
Yeah.
Blu-ray or whatever.
And Rosario
That's awesome.
Dawson is like hot as hell in that movie. Like her and Clive
Wasn't
Owen,
hard.
their chemistry, forget about it.
Yeah.
Love it.
I love Sin City also, but the Winter Soldier is just a notch above. And I
Oh, yeah.
I really love Sin City, but yeah, Winter Soldier is one of my favorite MCU movies also. And it's just 70s angsty spy political drama as a superhero movie. I really loved it.
Yeah,
It's my favorite Captain America. It's probably my third favorite MCU movie, but you just nailed it too. You could take out the whole Captain America logo on it, and it's really just a good wartime spy thriller with a lot of great action in it.
Mm-hmm.
You
Exactly.
know what? It actually is my least favorite Captain America movie, but because I love the other two so much. But the Captain America trilogy is my favorite MCU trilogy. All three of those movies are in my top 10 MCU movies. So
I do. Yeah, I'm one of the weird people that
favorite
likes the first one the most.
I love the first one. Oh,
First one's
Yeah.
good. It's underrated. I think the first one's underrated. So
Yeah, it's the most underrated. Marvel
It's
movie.
grown over me over the years. I hated it at first. I thought it was just a crappy story, but then after seeing everything else and then going back and watching it, you can really fill pieces in and get more appreciative of the movie.
Yeah, I just love the World War II setting, and I love Red Skull. He's like one of my favorite villains too. So seeing him was great. But yeah, like the second one, and then seeing the second one is such a juxtaposition compared to the first one. It's like, holy shit, this is a completely different movie, but it's just as good in like every way. And then Civil War I love, but it's more of an Avengers movie than a Captain America movie.
It's interesting tonight how we've had so many go up against each other that are like completely like similar films, like both comedies or both whatever, and then we have ones that are such polar opposites that it's so difficult to even,
Try to get a good mix in here. It just and then it randomizes. I was just like, I really hope the Batman movies don't have to go against each other in the first round. That's usually like what I hope for.
Right.
Here we've got Black Panther and Lego Batman movie.
Yes, Tim, we talked about the Phantom for like a whole 30 minutes. You missed it.
Talked about how it's no Morbius, and that's why it's not here. Maybe if Bruce Campbell was in it, it would be in here automatically, but he's not, sadly. So. Black Panther and Lego Batman movie. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Now I went Black Panther. Black Panther. Dell holding on for his favorite.
Hold on to my favorite.
Respect. Hey, I didn't even vote for mine, so
I didn't vote for mine either.
Yeah, Black Panther. Yeah, no, it's just one of those like Batman Lego movie is probably like a more entertaining movie, I would honestly say. But Black Panther's more significant overall to
it is
superhero movie and the franchise as a whole.
Yeah, it's a much more culturally significant movie, so I can't argue it. But I'm just kind of trying to push through the one I actually set up to be in the tournament.
I think it's the only one that made it past the first round, so good job. Oh no, the Crow did. Thanks to Excelsior. All right. Then we got Hellboy and Spider-Man 2. I imagine this is going to go pretty easily. Going faster than last time. Sure. Yeah, did I not show everyone? Did I not show you, or did I take it away? I forget. Hellboy and Spider-Man 2. So, we all good? 3, 2, 1. Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man 2, Spider-Man also, Spidey 2, and Spider-Man. Like I see an S, so it can't be Hellboy.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I figured that's the way that one would go.
Oh yeah,
Hellboy's good and all, but like I said, I don't even. Oddly enough, I prefer Spider-Man 1 and Hellboy 2 over Hellboy 1 and Spider-Man 2. But either way, I'd take Spider-Man over Hellboy any day.
I love Spider-Man 2. I just didn't think it was going to go up against The Watchmen, so I was in a conundrum. But now I can vote for Spider-Man 2 freely, and
You're rocking a hard place, as it were.
Yeah.
Alrighty. It's done. Okay. Let's get harder and harder as it goes. Spider-Man, the Spider-Verse, and Blade.
The old guy and the new kid.
Right. This is harder than I thought.
Man.
Okay. We all good? 3, 2, 1. I went Spider-Man. Spider-Man, Blade, Spider-Man, and Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah.
Spider-Man takes it. Yeah, honestly, like the only reason it was like weighing towards Blade was because of the nostalgia of it. So I was like, well, that's not the great reason.
No.
I think, like I've watched Spider-Man so many more times now, and I was like, this is a really good movie. Gets you in the feels. Blade doesn't really do that so much. That's kind of the reason I went towards Spider-Man.
The animation is still, mind-boggling. Yeah, with the first and second film, it's still, you question it while you're watching it. Like, how did they pull this off? It is just phenomenal.
Well, apparently they work their animators 100 hours a day in harsh working conditions.
Yeah,
100 hours a day.
Oh,
As long as they got paid for it, unlike most visual effects people.
The animators and the visual effects people need some type of union because they're the only ones in Hollywood that don't have one, and it's crazy to me.
Yeah, one of my buddies was a visual effects person, and he'd be working like 70 hours a week and shit. Ridiculous.
Just very easy to get taken advantage of in that industry. So.
Yeah. We got to finish Transformers 2. It comes out next week. It's like, okay.
I think James Gunn paid his people really well to make. I mean, Guardians of the Galaxy 3, the visuals were so beautiful, and I think like he had something to do with that for sure. Like, pay these people right, make it phenomenal. Like, we'll take time and put it out when it's ready. You know?
Right. Well, I mean, even if they rush through it,
right?
At least pay them accordingly.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you're working 70 hours a week. Pay them for 70 hours a week.
It just looks so much better.
Sure, you get a better product out of it. Here we have the Crow and the Winter Soldier.
Those are like Ryan's two favorites, aren't they? Oh.
Close.
Or they're up there. I know. I feel like
All right, so
no, The Crow is my favorite movie of all time. It is my number one. So
that's why it was your pick even before I even asked. Like the Crow's in there.
What was it? You said you didn't like the second one of Captain America, but you liked the first one better?
I like Winter Soldier is my favorite of the three. I did not like the first one originally, but as I've watched it and filling in information from other movies, putting in there, I've respected a lot more. Civil War, it's good, but Civil War is just crap compared to what the comic was, because in the comics there was like 80 superheroes during the Civil War.
They did what they could, I guess. Yeah. Hey, at least they brought in Spider-Man, right?
Yes.
That's all that matters.
Underoos.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. This time I voted because I actually like Captain America enough to vote for it.
I figured I'd be the only one vote for the Crow.
Mine's Captain America, but I will say I think it's this weird conundrum of, and I'm a hypocrite because I voted for Sin City, that I don't consider the Crow to be like a superhero, even though it's based off of a comic and graphic novel. So I am just this vote.
Yeah, it's a supernatural thriller, supernatural crime thriller is what it is technically.
Right. Just like
that, though, I'd say it's more of a superhero movie than Sin City, though.
I agree. That's why I'm a hypocrite. So yeah.
Oh, the Crow. Yeah, because at least he's like back from the dead, and Sin City's.
How do you feel about the remake? They're going to redo it.
As because I heard originally it was Momoa. I can't stand Momoa. If he fell off the face of the earth, I wouldn't care. But if it's Skarsgård that does it, and who they have doing it right now, and it gets greenlit, and the studio doesn't mess with anything, I'll be fine with it.
With Bill Skarsgård? Yeah, I agree. That's a great cast. It's the only casting choice that makes sense. So that works.
Yeah.
Which Skarsgård is it?
Bill.
Right? Bill. Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Bill.
Both of the brothers for Lex Luthor, which is interesting.
Yeah. I think Alexander would make a better Lex Luthor. They're saying like, well, who was it? No, my brain farted. One of the guys who was up for Superman, who's in Mad Max Fury Road, the younger guy.
Oh, Holt, Nicholas Holt.
Nick, I'm like Nick something. Like he was also up for Lex Luthor. I'm like, he would be a good Lex Luthor, I think.
I honestly, I don't know how he was up for Superman. I just can't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm like, I would not see him as Superman at all. But Lex Luthor.
Well, I think he's been trying for different superhero roles so many times. Like, didn't he try for the Batman and all of that?
I think so.
Yeah, so I think at this point they just let him try out for all of them now. Just like
he's a really good actor. He's in a bunch of different stuff.
I mean,
he might still get Luthor for this movie, and I can see that more than I can see him as Superman.
Yeah, when I saw that he was up for Superman, I'm like, why?
Exactly.
I'm like, that's just the guy they picked. I'm like, yeah, he looks like Superman, so I got no arguments here. As long as he can act his way out of the bag, I'm happy. Alrighty then. We got Black Panther, Spider-Man 2.
Spooderman. Have you seen those Spooderman shorts?
I think my kid watches them. I just like to say Spider-Man, like plural. I have about 800 Spider-Man action figures behind me that are my kids, so I'd say Spider-Man. Like, we're playing Spider-Man? We've got something across the Spider-Verse, so that's what we've been playing in here, is all those different Spider-Mans. Okay, we all good there? 3, 2, 1. I went Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Black Panther. What do you got, Tracy?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man 2.
All right.
But yours is very glary, even more so than mine somehow.
I apologize.
No, it's fine.
This is
You know
complete
what you wrote.
opposite.
That's the important thing.
Yeah, no, I remember one person in the chat didn't vote for Black Panther, and everyone else did, and now it's like the complete opposite. I feel like because I keep seeing. It's so funny.
My brother's here. How you doing, Bob?
Bob, what's up?
Was it?
Adam.
Was Mike? Did you not vote for Spider-Man this time?
I didn't vote for. I voted for Black
Oh,
Panther.
you didn't. Okay.
Yeah,
I
no
was-
one for Black Panther.
Okay. It's been a lot of like 4 against 5, like back and forth for a couple times.
Yeah, it keeps rotating. The person who votes for the one off.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got no beef with either one though. It's fine.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's like they're both great,
Yeah.
but I just prefer Spider-Man too. That's really all there is to it. Okay. Now it's going to get harder. The other Spider-Man, I mean, the Spider-Mans might have to battle it out against Captain America Winter Soldier.
I could have just erased my 2.
You all good then? 3, 2, 1. I went Spider-Man.
I'm the only Winter Soldier.
Yeah. The only reason I went Spider-Man over Winter Soldier personally was, I mean, probably because I haven't seen the movie as many times. But it's like, I loved Winter Soldier. I mean, I still do, but I've always preferred the first one.
I agree.
And I've
Yeah.
watched Spider-Verse a bunch of times, and it's like, Winter Soldier, after you watch it 20 times, it's kind of like the Dark Knight thing, where it's just like, I'm just over it at this point, because like, I know it's good, and I've seen it, I don't need to watch it again. But Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse, it's like so fun and energetic, and there's so many little weird things about it that
And you pick
no matter-
up something
you
new
watch
every
it 20
time.
times, you'll notice something different about it. So that's
Yeah.
kind of why I think.
Yeah.
Plus, it's all the rage right now, and you got to be popular with the kids.
Did your kids like the second one just as much, or better, or worse than the first one?
I mean, he liked them both a lot. I can't really, I don't know which one he prefers, I suppose. Second one's a little long, so he probably prefers the first one for that reason. And I
Okay.
could sit and watch it at home. But once, I
My
mean,
son-
the one comes out, I'm sure he'll love it just as much.
Yeah, my son liked the second one better just because when they finally got into the Spider City and just all the different Spider-Man, he was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God,
Yeah. I love Andy Samberg as Scarlet Spider was brilliant.
Spider Car.
Rooting. And then they had, there's so many weird Spider-Mans, like that cowboy one. And so many different ones. The Indian one was great, too. I forget his name, but they're all good. All right. Like I said, he's the battle of the Spider-Mans. It was bound to happen eventually, I think. And this is the finals for this half.
Oh wow. So Spider-Man is in the finals.
He's in both movies in the finals, either way.
Oh yeah.
My son just creeped in here and whispered that he likes the first Miles Morales movie better.
Oh, there you go.
He slowly opening the doors, just creak. I'm like, yes.
Mom, hold on a second. I gotta go correct Dad.
I gotta run down. Like I assume he likes the first one more because he watches it more, and it's got all the stuff he likes. He's only 5, so he gets a little antsy in a 2-hour and 20-minute long movie, even if he likes it. So, I think the only movie I've ever seen him sit still all the way through was Mario Brothers, because it's 90 minutes long and it's Mario. He made it through Avatar too, though, so points for him. Okay.
I imagine he might have been asleep though.
Yeah. No, he wasn't. He was crawling on me and his mom, but he lasted the whole time. Here we go. Bam. I went Spider-Man 2, barely. Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. Spider-Man 2 by a hair, it looks like.
Yep.
If this was against
This is one where the nostalgia got me, and where I'm like, I have to go Spider-Man 2.
if it was
Like I said earlier.
sorry, no,
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Tracy.
No, I
Go
was
ahead.
going to do real quick. If this was against Across the Spider-Verse, then I would have chosen Across the Spider-Verse. But I know a lot of people like the first movie more than Across the Spider-Verse, but I really liked Across more than the first one. Even though I love the first one too.
Yeah, I'm like you. I do like Across better than Into, but I like Into better than Spidey 2. It's just that way.
Okay. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Spidey 2 is my favorite non-animated, but if I'm going to lump all the Spider-Man together into the Spider-Verse, is the winner to me. I
Yeah.
like it a lot better. But Across the Spider-Verse, I like it a lot better, but I need to give it a rewatch because there is so much shit going on. So,
Yeah, there is, yes.
There's a lot. Oh, it's a ton.
That's definitely one I need to buy day one and watch like 4 times.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like the live action ones are harder to judge, kind of, just because like when it's animated, you sort of get like a free pass to do whatever the hell you want when it's animated, and people will take it for what it is. But when it's live action, if anything looks wonky or doesn't seem right, people will judge it more harshly, I think. The fact that they can make the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies were so perfect, especially for its time.
Yeah.
I have to give it props for that.
But with the Spider-Verse movies, though, it's not just that you can get away with things because it's animated. They took the time to cram so much into it that other animated movies can't compare. It's crazy.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah.
well, even
I
like
just- I just-
switching Miles's.
They have so many characters without like too much build up, and they're in there. But like I don't know, this is hard to gauge.
Like
if you
the little things.
movie and have these characters nobody knows, it's harder to get by than an animated one. It
Yeah.
just seems that way.
Sorry, Derek. I tried talking to her. You always like pause for just a second. I'm like, okay, he's done talking.
No, I don't do that on purpose.
But like Into the Spider-Verse, like the thing I really liked about it is when he got his powers and then they changed his animation style and they knocked it down or up a couple frames and then he started seeing the
on
thought
every other
bubbles.
frame,
And
yeah, at first until he learns his powers on his 24 frames per second or whatever.
yeah, and then like when Peter Parker gets shocked and they show his nervous system and not his bones and just like little weird stuff. It's just so cool.
Yeah, the attention to detail is ridiculous in those movies. And yeah, even the second one probably even more so because there's so much stuff going on.
Yeah, and the stories work. It wouldn't amount to really anything if it was just all pretty pictures. The stories.
Yeah, exactly. No wrong answers there. All right, here's the last one. Got through this pretty quick. Lasted about an hour less than the last one.
Was the Flash on this list at all?
No,
That's so crazy. Why wasn't
it
it
was
on
already.
here?
If the movie may have been better, I might have bombed it out for Morbius.
That's
but,
your opinion. That's not everyone's opinion. And then we even made this thing happen after it premiered because we were all going to see it.
Hey, we didn't get Shazam on here either, so
No, that's true.
You got a couple of DC movies in here, the better couple. I like
I'm
them.
just mad.
no
I'm not
Aquaman
even
on
crapping on the
here.
Flash. I liked it. My wife fucking hated it. I liked it, except for the shitty visual effects. But same goes for Black
Yeah,
Panther.
the CGI, we all know that sucks, but I think they did a really good job with what that they had.
The part of the movie that's a Flash movie is really good.
Yes.
The rest of it's like, all right.
I mean, there's no Elektra on this list for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, technically there is. You got Daredevil, so she's in there.
True.
Maybe if the DCU was better, I'd have more of them on here. But
I thought we were going to duke it out over the Flash, to be honest, during this. That's really funny. I was so ready for that.
like, I'm perfectly fine with the Flash. I'll buy it eventually. Like I said, my wife couldn't stand it. She like fell asleep through it like 3 times.
I was sobbing multiple times in that movie, so I don't know.
I mean, the end gets you, that's for sure, with his mom and the grocery store part. That's all good. It's just it has like no weight to it whatsoever because they're resetting the whole thing. Like, so it's like outside of Barry's personal story.
You know, it was a thing though. It's like Logan with Wolverine. It's, you know, I know that changed now, but you know, not.
Right. But we didn't know that while the movie was in production.
I don't think the movie was not in this. I just love that for the end.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's see. I went Avengers, Infinity War, The Snap, and Avengers.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a great.
I'm not going to say I'm angry at being a Marvel geek my whole life and having Infinity War sweep house in this thing. And I didn't pick people on purpose who I know would vote for it or anything like that. Like I said, it was randomized. It could have been Dark Knight versus Avengers in the first round. I'm surprised it wasn't.
So I know Infinity War won the poll, but do you prefer Endgame more or Infinity War more?
Me? I like them pretty much the same. It's just depends on what mood I'm in. Either way, like if I will really want to watch Endgame, I'll watch Endgame because I want to see whatever happens in that movie. But then I'll immediately want to watch Infinity War and vice versa. So no matter which one I want to watch the other one immediately afterwards, even though if it's out of order or not. It's just kind of funny.
I way prefer Infinity War. I think it's paced way better. Like Endgame has an awesome third act, and I think the first act is pretty good, but I get lost in the middle when they start doing the time travel stuff. It slows down for me a little bit, and I just think Infinity War is a better paced movie overall.
Yeah, it's paced more action-packed-y, I would say. Yeah, that's the one thing I like better about it is that it's paced better, but it has a lot less to do in 3 hours than Endgame has to do.
Well, the thing is, I think Endgame could have done it in 2. That's the problem. I like Infinity War way better. Endgame is not top 5 MCU for me. Maybe top 10. Maybe it's a 3-hour movie that really should have been 2. And then that whole last half, the last act, yeah, it's fun, but it's all fan service. It's just Infinity War is just far superior for me.
And Smart Hawk, I cannot stand Smart Hawk.
I agree. I don't like that one either.
Nobody likes Smart Hulk but me.
No, like Professor Hulk.
He was always my favorite in the comics too. So like when I saw him I don't know. It just seems like a lot of people don't know that's what he's like in the comics. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, he is, but I think we didn't get enough time with the Raging Hulk in the MCU period. I think that's one of the shortcomings of the MCU is that they just kind of didn't really know what to do with the Hulk all the time. So they just kept trying different things and settled on Smart Hulk. And
yeah, well, I appreciate that they at least sort of did the Hulk merging plot line, but they did it like behind the scenes almost.
Yeah, they did it behind the scenes.
Here's Hulk, and then there's the Hulk that was supposed to be the Gray Hulk and in Ultron.
Yeah,
and changed their minds. And
my one big problem with Infinity War, my one problem really is that, I mean, the Hulk is he's really his raging id. That's David Banner's raging id. And all of a sudden he gets punched in the mouth one time and he's too scared to come out. I like that. So.
It's been too easy.
The punch should have made him even more angry, and
exactly.
He gets stronger when he gets hurt. Like it just and
then
when they do go back in time,
bigger, like in Ang Lee's Hulk.
Yeah. And then when they do go back in time, and the first thing he has him do is like smash some cars in that to fit in. Like you didn't even have to do that. Like that was just stupid. Like you guys are there on a mission. You don't want to draw attention to yourselves, and then he's sitting there just throwing a car. It's like, okay, come on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just a gag. That never hurt anyone. But yeah, I'm not complaining with Infinity War winning. It probably is my most watched out of all these movies, at least recently.
I was going to be
the outliers. Sorry, I just wanted to ask that. The one, like the movies that made it that no one voted for. There's always like 5, right? That you add. I just wanted to know.
Oh, the random ones I picked or whatever.
Yeah.
What were they? Is that what you're asking? Sorry, I didn't really hear what you said.
No, it's okay.
I'm also deaf and blind. If you didn't know. It was Wonder Woman, Morbius, Hulk, Daredevil, and Dick Tracy.
That's not
Those were
all
the
that.
5 random ones.
Sorry.
And there was I forget how many on that wheel, but it was like 30 or so. I think it was another 32 movies on the wheel, and those 5 got picked.
Cool. Just curious.
Yeah, obviously there were some better ones than that, but that's what happened.
Yes.
They got Ant-Man on there. I think I had the Batman on there just because it deserves it, but I didn't want too many Batman movies. I already had enough Spider-Man and Batman movies on here. I tried to only pick one movie from each franchise, so.
So Derek, how many superhero movies competed tonight? Was it 32-ish?
32. Yep.
32.
Yeah, 16 on either side. Yeah, like I did more because when I was doing the Best Picture ones, there was like 50 a year, at least in recent years. So I'm like, there's a lot, but 32 is a perfect amount because you can make an even bracket and have it not be weird. But then it's subjective. Like with this one, I had to figure out which movies to put into it, which is going to be the same for the next one, which is probably going to be the poster one we're going to do, Mike, for the Collectors Club one. We're going to pick 32 of the best movie posters of all time.
Ooh.
And pit them against each other.
Cool.
So we'll have to figure out what 32 posters those are because it's not like an objective thing. Like when it comes to Oscar-nominated movies, it's like these are the ones that were nominated. I don't have a choice. And even the blockbuster one I did last time, it's like here's the list of #1 movies every summer, and I just picked the 32 that weren't sequels off of each other, essentially. So it's a little more tricky with these. So hey, if anyone out there has a movie poster they love to death and they would love to see in the movie poster tournament.
Somebody's bound to be pissed because there's no way you can get all the good posters in the tournament.
Right. It's like there's 32 posters. I don't want them all to be every Star Wars poster. I'll probably do kind of like I did here, where I'll have one Star Wars poster and none of the rest of them. And movie posters suck nowadays.
Don't let Tim bull you in because he'll be pulling posters out. Look at this poster; it's cool.
Well, he'll be on it probably. So I'm sure he'll be the one to have stuff to say. So I'll force him to host it. Or make him co-host just because that's what he does. But yeah, that's what it is. I'll bring up this the full screen here or not. My thing doesn't want to work. There we go. Bam, I'll show it. There it is. Final best comic book movie of all time, apparently. Which I'm not going to argue, really. Is Infinity War. Works for me. This went quick. It only went 2 hours. It was like an hour plus shorter than the last couple, so that's kind of nice. We were swift about it. But yeah, like I said, the next one we're going to do for sure is going to be the movie poster one, and that'll be at the tail end of July, like the very last Thursday of July. So a month from today, essentially. Yeah, beyond that, I don't know much what else to say. I'll bring everyone up and let them do their thing. Mike, what do you got going on? I know you got something tomorrow, right?
Of course, yeah. Always tons of stuff going on for the channel. But tomorrow we are doing the pre-game show for the Criterion July sale. So if you're collecting Criterion titles out there, we're going to be recommending titles, letting you know what we're looking forward to. So that's going to be super fun. Of course, tons of content dropping every day on my channel. I'll do my morning show on Sunday as usual, covering movie news. A lot of superhero news usually comes up with casting news. And then Sunday night, we're going to be doing our top 5 favorite war movies. So, like 3 streams in the next few days.
So, Mike, quick question for you.
All right.
So is the sale starting tomorrow or is it starting Saturday?
I believe the Criterion sale is starting on Friday, which is tomorrow.
The 30th. Yep.
Okay.
It's the 30th until July 28th, I believe.
Yeah.
I think it's I mean, I voted for it a couple times. I mean, you are meshing together a bunch of. I'm not talking right now. Don't mind myself.
Are we all freezing? What's happening?
No. Well, Tracy was talking. I was going to let her finish her sentence.
No, it was my bad. I turned off my monitor, forgetting my monitor when it's on is my speakers because my computer's hooked into my monitor. I'm like, I can't hear anybody, so I had to turn it back on. All stupid. So
okay,
go for it. My bad.
Yeah, Ryan, Movies with Ryan. Just had a video drop yesterday from a St. Louis trip this past weekend where I met Tim Talks Talkies and his wife April, Bob's Blu-rays, KB Loves Movies, and Nathan Jones, specifically Blu-rays. It was an awesome time. That's part 1. That was our Saturday trip. Next Wednesday, part 2 will come out. Yeah, Criterion sale starts tomorrow. So I want to be out and about picking up some stuff like I do every Criterion sale. Just recently hit 500 subscribers. I want to thank everybody for that. So I'm going to be planning some sort of live stream shenanigans at some point for that. And that's it. Derek, thank you for having me on here. No, you don't owe me any favors.
Thanks for coming, as always. Always, all those times that you do this. Yes. We'll be back. I'll go over to Tracy now, since I rudely interrupted her without knowing because my speakers were turned off.
You didn't interrupt me. I thought that when you're backstage, people can't hear you. So I was just telling my boyfriend who won the Infinity War. So I'm so sorry about that. I apologize.
I'm just confused. I'm like, what the hell? Like, am I missing a thing? Did I screw up?
No, you're not. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
I will mute my
It's
mic
okay.
next time. Yeah, thank you for having me on this. I love these types of things. And on my channel next will be an Asteroid City review that should be up tomorrow. And then I do a happy hour movie chat every Tuesday at 4:15, and then at 5 I have a guest on. And yeah, I'm excited to see Oppenheimer a lot and that conversation moving forward. But thank you again so much for having me on this, and I apologize for talking for.
Well, that's fine. That's what we do. We interrupt each other. That's part of live streaming. That's why I'm quiet most of the time, unless I'm hosting it. Del, what do you got?
Well, first, thanks for having me. Really enjoyed it. Had a great time. As for me, we did a great movie swap last night with John from Plat X2. So go check the replay out of that. No movie swap coming up this week, but I might pop up on someone else's stream. Nothing set in stone, so I won't give it away. And we'll get back to that in a couple weeks. And I'll have a couple of days off next week, so I'll actually have time to edit and put out other videos. So look forward to that.
Excellent. All right.
Huck has a question for you, Derek.
Oh, does he now?
In the chat.
Oh, does he? Not at all far. Okay, sorry. It makes me feel any better. I voted for it, but no one else.
I did as well, Huck. I tried for you. But...
Yeah, we got you. Your Collector's Club boys had you. What was it up against? Joker?
Yes.
No. Was it Joker? No, it couldn't have been Joker. I would have voted for Joker. What was it up against?
Logan, I think.
Oh, Logan.
Oh, yes. Yeah, Logan.
Yes,
Logan.
Logan and Joker. But yeah. Yep. Yeah, lost to Logan in the first round, Huck. I'm sorry. I should have had you on here, but that would have been too easy. You would have voted Superman all the way through. Plus, you're on a cruise and stuff.
I was going to say, he's still on a boat in the middle of the ocean, ain't he?
Yeah. That's popular lately, being in the ocean and all.
But he was watching Shazam 2 on a boat, so there's nothing better than that.
Right? You got to see Top Gun, like at poolside Top Gun Maverick, making us jealous. Yeah, that's it for tonight. Thanks for making it swift and painless, everybody. I would do more of these if they were only 2 hours long instead of 3.5 hours long. They kind of get old after that long, like any live stream does, unless you're in mid-levolution. Then we go 6 or longer every time. Like I said, we'll do a movie poster one for sure at the end of July. I may do one. Actually, I don't even remember. That week, the last week of July, first week of August, there will be the poster one. I may do another one in July after I get back from California if I feel up to it, but I doubt it, honestly, at this point. On my channel, I don't have a lot of new stuff coming out for sure, but I just posted like 6 videos this week, because I actually bought stuff and showed it off, and it was all cool. And I'll have a couple of passages from the Bad Movie Bible videos coming out that nobody watches, but I like to make, and it's always fun. So on that note, thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, everyone.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.